Thursday night, Republicans say they are now pushing forward with a vote this fall on a replacement for Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy. Democrats argue the vote should be held until after the midterms. President Trump has said that he will start the effort to replace Kennedy immediately and will pick from a list of 25 names he had updated last year. If Republicans unite behind the president's selection, Democrats can do little to stop it. Republicans have a 51-49 majority in the Senate. Former Vice President Joe Biden urging Americans to demand President Trump nominate a consensus candidate. He says, quote, so many of our fundamental rights, freedoms, and liberties and the rule of law are all at risk. So our Washington correspondent Jessica Smith talked with both senators from Indiana today.
Yeah, she joins us live now from Washington, D.C. this evening. Jessica, what was their reaction to the news of Justice Kennedy's retirement?
Well, when I talked to them this morning, they both had kind words about Justice Kennedy stepping down, but they both were a little cautious when I asked them about the controversy about finding his replacement. Senator Young says he's confident that he will support the president's nominee, most likely because he thinks the president will put forward a justice that is conservative and that is qualified. I asked both senators if the Senate should take up the nominee, consider the nominee before the midterm elections. You'll hear Senator Donnelly's answer in just a moment, but Senator Young said the Senate should vote this fall, and when I pushed him on what makes this election year different than the 2016 election, when Republicans would not hold a vote on President Obama's nominee, here's what he said.
Well, I wasn't in the United States Senate back then. I wasn't in charge of making those decisions. I'm in the Senate now. I told people that should I make it into the United States Senate, I'd be voting for a conservative justice, someone who doesn't legislate from the bench.
We're prepared to do our work when our work comes to us, and so there'll be a nominee that will come to us. I don't know when the president will conclude that, and we'll do the work when it comes before us.
So that was Donnelly not explicitly answering the question there, but just saying he'll do the work when it comes up. Donnelly is going to be a key vote when the Senate takes up President Trump's eventual nominee. He was one of just 3 Democratic senators to vote for Neil Gorsuch, and he's up for re-election in a Republican state. So all eyes will really be on Joe Donnelly. He does say he will consider any candidate that the president does put forward. Reporting in Washington, I'm Jessica Smith, 24-hour News 8.
Jessica, before we let you go, always interesting to hear what the senators have to say. Did you happen to hear anything from them about President Trump's upcoming meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin?
I did. I asked them both what they thought about this upcoming meeting. Donnelly was very firm in his answer. He said the president needs to tell Putin to back off, to stay out of the U.S., to stay out of our elections. He says that Russia is launching cyber attacks against us every day, and the president needs to tell him to stop. Senator Young told me he hopes the meeting is productive. He said he feels that the president has been tough on Russia already, so he just wants the president to stay vigilant.
Right. Jessica Smith live for us tonight in D.C. As always, Jessica, thank you.